Okay, so we're live on YouTube and Facebook. We got Shari Mattson in the house. Hadn't seen her since last year. Be right back. How's it going, everybody? We got Shari Mattson with us. I'm going to pull her up right now. Just 1 second. Welcome, everybody. Second show of the day. We had one cancellation, but we got another one in about an hour and a half. About half hour after this one ends. All right, let's see. Panelist. Okay. There you go. Start video. How's it going? A little too spicy? And Angela Parker. Hey, Shari, you're muted. You have to unmute yourself. Oh, wow, that's pretty back there. What is that? You see there you go. You're good.
Okay.
Que pasa?
Hey.
You look fantastic.
Thank you.
You look like you're rested and you've been
through a lot.
You've gone through a lot.
A lot of changes with these crazy energies we're going through. Oh my gosh.
What are you talking about? I didn't know there was any crazy energies. Yeah, no kidding. What's it been like for you? We haven't talked since last year.
It's really been that long, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Probably about a year.
Time flies.
I know it did. How's it been going for you? How's 2020 been?
Oh, it's been interesting. Just
yeah.
The mask wearing thing and everything. It's just been
Isn't that crazy?
For sure. Yeah.
Those aren't real jellyfish back there.
No.
I didn't think so.
They're plastic, but they look real.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely. So you said there were some things you wanted to talk about. You had some regarding your family, regarding your health, regarding real-time intel, and then maybe some.
Last time we kind of covered a lot of my poems and stuff, and
like in terms of like you wanted to talk a little bit about when you woke up, right? Didn't you want to cover that?
Like more of like after my dad's death in 1997 is kind of really when my world changed. Like his spirit around me and stuff and contacting me in dreams. And I think we talked a little bit about that last time, but we didn't get really into it. It's just some of the details or some of the things that happened. It was just mind-blowing things.
Really? I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to go over it, because there's a lot of people waking up now, and there's also a lot of people transitioning, which means that there's a lot of people that are transitioning, that are communicating with people that are still incarnated, which was what happened to you. Did you have a lot of clarity when he was coming through? Was he audible, or was it just signs and things like that?
Oh man, it was signs, it was dreams, Um, there was one time I was sitting at home and I just heard this audible voice, but it was kind of inside of me. I was cleaning my bathroom and it said, "Go start your car." Now my car hadn't started for like months and I just gave up on it. And it was like the middle of winter. And so I like asked this voice, I go, "Is it going to start?" And it said, "Yes." So I grabbed my keys and I went out there and it started right up. And I was like, okay, was that God? Was that my dad? Who was that?
I guess at the end, it's all one and the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
So did he give you any specific guidance other than to let you know he was around? I mean, did he give you any information?
He came to me one time when I was sitting on my bed and I just felt like this presence in my higher right in the air. And I started just bawling, just like a wave of emotion just came to me. And I just heard these words and it was a message to my mom from him. And I just started writing it down and crying. So yeah, wow. That was pretty intense.
What'd she think about it?
Well, I had to get up the nerve to tell her first because I was like, considered the.
Does she know you're sensitive? That you're intuitive? Does she know? I mean,
she does to an extent, but like she's grown up Christian and everything, and she's all religious. So talking about this stuff is evil to her. Like one time I was trying to talk to her about this stuff, and she talked to her pastor about it, and they gave me a book on demon possession. I was like, nice support system I have here.
What part of the country do you live in?
South Dakota.
Oh, you're in South Dakota. Man, you're in the Holy Land.
Yeah, sacred, spiritual place.
Yeah. Are you near the Black Hills?
Yeah, I'm in the Black Hills.
Oh, you're in the Black Hills.
20 minutes from Mount Rushmore.
Wow. Did you go to the Trump speech on July 4th?
I didn't, but I watched it on TV and everything. It was just really intense. He flew over our houses and.
No kidding. Air Force One flew over your house.
Yeah.
Wow, that's trippy.
It was surreal.
And did you have some other family members that transitioned? Is that what you had messaged me?
Yeah, I had a brother named Todd.
Can't make that up.
No. In 2011, he died from an asthma attack.
Wow.
He was 33.
Wow. Now, has he contacted you?
Yeah, many ways. It was like a repeat with my dad, with my brother. Like he started coming in dreams and showing pieces of himself to me. Like one time I saw like a part of a leg in my apartment. Yeah, I think with animals too, they contact us. They use animals.
Really? Do you have some animals that they came through?
On my dad's 10-year anniversary, I was kind of really depressed that day, just stuck in a depressed state and just feeling down for the whole day. And then I went outside and I decided to go outside later, and I was out there with my cats and just I was thinking about my dad all day and, wondering where he was at and stuff. And my cats were playing under some trees and chasing each other. And I was like focusing on them and stuff. And then I noticed this squirrel in the tree, and it just kept like running up and down the tree. It'd like stare at me and like make eye contact. and then like run around the tree, and he was kind of acting really unusual. But then I would like, okay, I'll just watch my cats again. And and then when I was watching my cats a little later, I felt something falling on my head.
What?
And that squirrel was dropping nuts on my head.
Do you think that was your brother coming through?
I think that was my dad. It was his 10-year anniversary. My brother had died by then yet.
Yeah.
But I kind of got the message like, maybe that's my dad telling me I'm being nuts. Like, get out of your depression, you know, because my dad had a sense of humor and stuff.
Obviously.
But dropping nuts on my head, a squirrel, I was like, okay, like
You can't make that shift up. You can't do
right.
it. No, you can't do it.
But
No,
he kept just running up and down the tree, making eye contact, staring at me, and then he ran to another tree. And then after a while, he just started hopping down the road. And I was like, was that a visitation from my dad? Because I felt like it. I told a family member after that. And she was, okay, Shari.
Yeah, right. Another demon book, demonology.
Yeah.
So is that area that you live in? I mean, I think everybody knows that it's very, it's a very powerful spiritual area. Have you had any occurrences with the land out there? Anything coming through?
Not really. I think there's like, I'm not really sure about the area. I haven't done a lot of research on it or anything. I just know it's a spiritual place, and
Yeah,
a lot happened here with Indians and stuff in the background.
yeah. Do you have any? I know you're connected and you're sensitive. I mean, do you have any specific energies that come through?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, some people have angels or galactics or elementals, animals, trees. I mean, is there anything that you have a certain affinity with?
I just had different experiences with different things, I guess. Angels, finding feathers and stuff like that. One time at like 3 a.m, I was woke up to like, it sounded like an angelic little boy singing an angelic song. And I was like, I woke up to that. And it was like right outside my window of my bedroom. And I was like, okay, logically, there's not going to be a little boy singing outside my window at 3 a.m. But it felt very angelic and like an angel watching over me or something. So,
Yeah.
and I had a miscarriage a while back, and I believed it was a boy. So I don't know if that was maybe connected to that somehow.
Wow. And what's this year been like for you? Are you going through what everybody else is going through? Like even in the last few days, a lot of people have talked about just a lot of shifting and a lot of stuff coming to the surface and a lot of burden, I guess, on the body itself and the body, really getting louder. What's been going on for you?
These past 3 or 4 days have been brutal.
Really?
I've had trouble staying in my body. Like, I'm having troubles breathing in these energies. I'm like sometimes gasping for air.
Wow.
I can't breathe. I had some insomnia issues a while back, and they've come back. The past 4 days, I've probably slept 5 hours or 6 hours.
In the last 4 days?
Yeah. I'm having little naps during the day every once in a while.
Yeah.
But not like, when you try to go to bed at a normal time and just get some good sleep, like that's been not happening.
Yeah, I get hit with those. It's like this serious drowsiness comes through and you can't do anything but just lay down, I mean, that's
Right.
all you can do.
And shaking, like my body's shaking.
Yeah.
And like itching. Do you have itching on your
Yes.
body?
Yes.
Oh, it's relentless sometimes.
I have itching. My skin's really dry. My scalp gets dry. I can wash my hair. And I like at night. The next day I wake up and it's just like on fire. And then the itching, I think, is for me anyway. The itching is just dehydration, or it's a hydration issue. Even though I'm drinking water, I seem to be burning through. Whatever hydration that I'm putting in my body seems to be burning right through. I mean, it's like seems like the transformation is speeding up or something to that effect. Yeah.
I also think it's like we're moving into crystalline type bodies.
Yeah.
I've seen videos and stuff of people that say they're scratching their skin and like jewels are coming off of their skin.
Yeah. Well, I've seen pictures of like that. You know, people have like crystals showing up on their skin. Right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I haven't
I haven't
seen
had
that.
anything like that.
Yeah. I haven't seen that on my body. I've seen it on Morgan's arms.
Really?
Yeah. Occasionally you'll see it. But some of the pictures I've seen have been pretty amazing. So it's been a rough 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. Swelling in my feet and legs, like,
yeah.
and just heaviness, like hardly any appetite. And like out of the blue, I just feel like I'm going to vomit.
Yeah. I'm there too. Yeah.
And I've had a metallic tasting in my mouth before.
There you go. This is happening a lot. Several people have come on the show and they talk about the same things. And the metal tasting, the change in the urine, the hot flashes, the dryness, the itchiness.
And I try to tell this to my family members, like, go to the doctor.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I've been in the emergency 3 times in the past 4 years.
Yeah.
For congestive heart failure and diabetes, they said I had. And ever since I started going to the doctor and getting on the pills and everything, my health got worse. And so I've been waffling with like, do I go to doctors? Or I know my body can heal. They tell me you can never heal from congestive heart failure or diabetes. And that you have to take these pills for life. But then I'm kind of wrestling with myself, you know, with like, do I want to listen to them or listen to my soul? And you know, so it's just been a crazy ride. But sometimes I get swelled so bad, like the last 3 times I was in the emergency room. I gained over 50 pounds of water weight each time, and I had to have all that taken off of me.
Wow. Is that from the diabetes? Or is that what they're saying?
I don't know if it's the diabetes or these energies we're going through or what. And it's like, it's frustrating because you feel like you weigh 600 pounds like that and you can barely get up, and my feet feel like they're 2x4s or concrete slabs.
Right. Very heavy.
Heavy. Yeah. I mean, these energies are heavy without this stuff, but like if I'm going through something like that, it's like unbearable.
Yeah, there's a couple of comments here. Angie Parker says it's constant fatigue and sleepiness. She's a week into raw fruit veg cleanse, lots of dreams. And she's using DNA commands, which I think that's becoming more and more widely accepted or utilized. Then Amanda, she says that she's just starting to get her appetite back, but she's still very fatigued. So there's no doubt that this last week or so has been very energetically, you know, there's been a huge energetic impact on our bodies. And that I think is more than just the physical body. Have you had mentally and emotionally, have you had any struggles because I mean, I know for me, there hasn't been a lot of that, but it's really been the physical that's really been, bearing the burden, I guess.
Yeah, not a lot of the mental stuff. I think I went through a lot of that earlier in my life. It's like some days time when you can't sleep and you can't sleep, you have insomnia or whatever. Some nights felt like 3 days.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait till the morning. The time just seemed like it was just too slow. Like, and I'm just sitting here suffering in my body. I'm like, I want this over with. Like, how much longer? I can't sleep through it. I can't do anything through it.
Yeah, that happened to me last night. I was up till I was laying in bed, but I didn't go to sleep till like 5:30. And then I was up before 9. But I don't know, that the whole rhythms of sleeping and, you know, on the quote unquote schedule just doesn't apply anymore. It hasn't applied for a while.
Yeah. I'm drinking a lot of like V8 juices and juice in
Mm,
general.
mm,
Um, Water.
yeah. You did some poetry last time you were on here, and you mentioned that you might have some now that you haven't released. Is that right?
I
Because you
think
did some videos with your
I know you.
poetry.
I sent you a bunch when I was typing to you, but I
Oh,
don't
you
know.
did. Let me
I
look.
don't know which ones I sent you or which ones I didn't.
Let me see. Hang on a second. Let me pull it up. So you sent them on the messenger or on the email?
Um, I think it was on Messenger a while back before I even went on your show.
Oh, okay. I might not be able to pull those up.
I don't know if you even had time to read them all. You're so busy.
No, no, that's a good point. No, I don't. I'm getting some help now, but yeah, that's always a challenge. So, do you have anything handy? Anything you wanted to share with us today?
Sure. Um, what's funny about my poetry is this was like 15 or 20 years. I just had things just coming out of me intuitively, just out of the blue. But I haven't had any poetry come out of me for since then. Like,
Wow.
I know
Well,
to do something else, I guess, but I feel like I'm supposed to do something with these because they don't just come out of you intuitively for nothing, right?
well, a lot of I've noticed this too with myself and other people that, yeah, a lot of stuff posts that were put up a few years back, poetry, that they're being like put back out or reposted, and I guess the timing's right now because
Oh, yeah.
people are resonating with stuff that they did a while back.
Everything's about timing, right timing, right? Um, I wrote one called "Daddy's Out There Somewhere" not long after my dad died.
Yeah.
After I had a dream with him in it, it just like when I woke up that morning, it was just in my head the words, so I just wrote it down. I like what you did with the poems last time with the music and everything. That was really cool.
What do we do? Did I play music behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on a different setup. We're getting back into. I tested it last night. We tested the broadcast software. It actually did pretty well. I haven't listened to the whole thing to check the sound, but we're going to start doing that. And we
You
have these open mic spoken words. Where we just whoever wants to come on comes on. We had one about a month ago. It was very cool. We had about 19 people on there, and then last night we did just more of a typical open mic, but some people shared poetry, and Ernestine played her guitar. Sasha Grace played the guitar. I mean, so we kind of mixed up the conversation with some, artistic expressions. And we're going to be doing more of that. We're going to be doing that twice a month, and you're more than welcome to
okay?
participate. Yeah.
Where you have a lot of people join in at once, or
Yeah, there was when we did the one a month ago, there was I think 19 people that participated. And last night, I don't know, I think there might have been somewhere around 13 or 14, 15 people that came in. And we were on for almost 3 hours, both of the shows. But people seem to really like it, and it's enjoyable. And when people share their, whether it's their comments or an activation or, poetry or a song, everybody seems to get really activated by it. So I like the concept a lot.
yeah, I think more and more people are doing those type of videos now with a lot of people, right? Just to get a stronger energy for it.
Yeah. The more the merrier. It's all about collaboration now.
Yeah. Okay, so daddy's out there somewhere. Daddy's out there somewhere watching over me. Maybe he's a star, but which one could he be? Maybe he's a rainbow forming in the sky when it starts to rain, helping me not to cry. Maybe he's the wind blowing in my ear, whispering his thoughts, pushing away my fear. Daddy's out there somewhere. Oh, where could he be? Maybe he's standing right in front of me.
Mm.
Maybe he's a rain cloud just passing by, missing me from heaven, showing me he can cry. Maybe he's an eagle flying in the sky, going to that place we all go when we die. Daddy's out there somewhere watching over me. Maybe he's the guardian angel God picked out for me. And I wrote that not long after he died.
Wow. Wow, that's nice. I found the
really shaky. I'm not nervous at my voice.
That's okay. Hey, you know what? That's what it's all about. You know, we're in a place where you're supported, and you know, and this is really what I think is happening. People are starting to have more, whatever you want to call it, confidence, or just.
My feminine's been hiding. She wants to come out.
Well, I mean, you know, for everyone to be able to be themselves. I mean, you know, to me, I Am Soul's like, you know, that's part of what I Am Soul's saying is getting past the point of embarrassment. I mean, I think being nervous is part of being vulnerable, and there's a great power in that.
It's normal to be nervous, but you don't want your voice to sound nervous.
Well, believe me, it's happened to me many times. Almost not so much anymore, but it still can. But I've done this so much that, you know, you finally, after a while. Let's see. I have 3 pieces that you did here. I've got Shattered Pieces, Sun Magic, and one that you did, Deep Thoughts for Today. I don't know if any of those ring a bell. Shattered Pieces? Do you remember that one?
Yeah. What's the one you said after that?
Shattered Pieces. There's one that's Sun Magic.
That doesn't sound like mine.
No, it looks like yours. It may have just been a live you did that you sent me. And then there's another one, My Deep Thoughts for Today.
Oh, are these just posted on Facebook or something?
No. These were, you sent these to me in Messenger. Yeah.
Oh.
I think the Shattered Pieces is where you sing. You remember that one?
Yeah. Didn't we play a video last time that I made?
Yeah, I've got the video. You want to play it?
Sure.
Okay, hang on. Hang on a second. Let me pull it up. Here we go. Let's listen. Check this out. I remember this one.
Pieces scattered all around, finding their places embedded in the ground, deeply cutting into Mother Earth, nuzzled so comfortably, awaiting rebirth. All dirt is kicked around and people walk by. They don't see the truth, they just see the lie. They don't know I'm down here, or that a piece of me has died. But now I will stay here and just wait and hide. As I sand and polish and rework my art, the new and enlightened becomes my new part. Ready for life and ready for love, the kind people dream of, sent from above. Newly reshined and newly repolished, I'm following my dreams rather than demolished. Shattered pieces scattered all around, each piece a reminder of what I have found. Jagged edges and parts that cut deep, I will bury in the ground and put you to sleep. I'm laying you to rest, I'm letting you go. shattered pieces no more, just so you know. Shining mirror, a shiny new face, and a new piece to the puzzle that's just found her place. That was a poem I wrote.
Did you see the energies? Like, I've been like using a camera and like the sun comes through my door and I'll get all these different colored energies.
I know, that's trippy. Does that happen to you often?
Yeah.
You know, some people, yeah, they have a knack. It's like Robin Redford was going to be on at the end of the month, but she had to work. She told me yesterday. I've been trying to get her on for a couple of years, but she takes pictures, and they're these incredible pictures. I mean, that you can see images in the pictures, not just the orbs. You can actually see. And then when she takes them, she gets clued in. I guess it's kind of her way of light language or channeling or whatever you want to call it. But yeah,
I do sun gazing and laying in the sun, and
yeah.
Sometimes I'll just grab my camera and those colors come through. It's pretty cool.
I wonder what that is. I know like when I started Sology, this One Studios, when I brought that part in and started doing the broadcasting in my townhouse for a couple of years, and the videos and the pictures would always have all this stuff in there, like these lightning bolt looking things and gold flashes and orbs and just different stuff. And I never really paid much attention to it, and people would say stuff about it. And then I started to notice that there's certain people that, like I asked Robin about it. I said, how do you see it? She goes, no, I just take the pictures like you're talking about. I just take the pictures and then it's there. And then I receive it, like receive what it is.
Some certain people can do it, like kind of how some certain people can go out and just see a UFO or get it on video or.
Yeah. But I wonder what the light is. I wonder if the light is it more, or is it more something that's around them, or is it more something being projected from them? I wonder about that.
I think it might be both.
Yeah. Well, I guess the bottom line of it all, yeah, it is probably both.
Have you seen the recent videos of like Donald Trump doing like speeches, and there's all these orbs and spirits flying around him?
I haven't seen. I mean, and that's crazy. I was just talking to some friends about everything that's out there, and it's like, even like with Photoshop and just different things that are put out there that aren't legit. I mean, I don't know. I guess you just have to discern for yourself.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, I know I keep thinking that, I don't mean to sound negative, but because I'm not, but I don't trust anything out there other than like me and you, like the people, like when two people or more sit down and talk and are real and authentic and vulnerable, and sing a song like you, somebody said, Andrew said, he's got great respect for anybody who's going to do something like that. There's a power in that. There really is.
My truth detector is if I start bawling.
Yeah.
If I just feel something very like strongly, I'm like, okay, this is either fake or this is. I think we have to use our own like inner GPS system to just, especially now, because there's so much Photoshops and stuff on the internet. Like, it can be mind-boggling.
Yeah, we got to question everything, don't we?
Yeah.
Really do.
There's like so much truth and lies mixed together right now. It's like, what do you believe anymore? You should go within, I guess.
And even the, at least I can speak for myself, but even like the communications I have with the universe or whatever you want to call it, I have to question that. I will have conversations and say, wait a minute, I have a question, and a conversation takes place, because I feel like I'm the one here, physically here, and I should have a say-so, number one, and I will be heard. I will question things, because how do I know what's
Don't
on
you
the other
love
side?
that you can post a video on Facebook and get all these responses though? Just like
What's that?
Don't you love how you can like do a video of you doing like your questions and everything, and then you can post it on Facebook, and then you can get everybody's feedback
Yeah.
just right away. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I mean, I've always just been like where, I just put something out there and I don't look back, because then you start to look at it. If you like watch yourself, then you start picking yourself apart and judging yourself and all that stuff. Right. And that's a big threshold to cross when you can stop doing that.
Yeah, it is.
Because of everything out there, I think that the most, and not for lack of a better word, the most threatening thing or challenging thing would be our own self-talk versus, I mean, that's potentially more expansive or more, contracting to our field than anything that they were exposed to externally, whether it be something on the global stage or something that happens in a relationship or family. It's really, how we converse with ourselves.
Yeah. Which takes people
Karen wants to know, what is that statue behind you by your jellyfish?
Buddha.
That's Buddha. The silver?
I think
What is that?
I think they're both Buddha statues. Can you see them very well?
I can see the one on the right, but the one on the left. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, he's got his head cocked on his knee. Yeah. That's a very cool wall hanging, though, that you have there.
Thank you.
That's
I do readings online on camera on a place that I work doing readings and
reading. You do readings?
And I'm on camera. Yeah.
Oh, you're on camera when you do the readings.
It's called a random. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Mm-mm. What type of readings do you do? Do you use tarot cards or what?
I do card readings, mediumship readings, dream interpretation. You get like a profile and you can say what you do, and you just have a live chat room. And then if they want to take you to a reading, you just go and start getting paid right away.
So when you come face to face with someone like this, how do you enter that space, or how do you create that space? I mean, do you go through a certain something beforehand, in your mind or in the conversation with the other person? How do you do that?
Mostly in the chat room, they just see you, and you have to just see their chat name and their words. And then they have the option when they take you to private if they want to go on camera or not. A lot of them don't.
Yeah.
So it's just mostly you on camera. But so this is different. I mean, than what I've been used to.
So are you able to like tune into people, or how does that work for you? I know that a lot of the energy practitioners all are different. They have different clairs. Do you hear things, see things, third eye? I mean, or is it just a knowing, or?
Yeah, I hear words in my head. Get visions. I noticed recently in my room, if I get like a heart pain, any kind of pain on my body, it's where they need healed or where they're having issues. So I'll be like, oh, your heart, like real, I get to feel it. I get to feel their pain. But usually when they come in my room, I either start picking up things on them intuitively or not, but it just depends on their energy too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people on that side that are just like skeptics and want, testing you out, and, so.
How does that work? Do you call them out? Or can you pick up on them?
I can kind of, yeah. I'm getting better at it. It's been, a challenge working there. It's been it's been good for me. Like a practice ground, I feel, for something I'm going to do later in my life. But
my friend Valerie Ames, Mother with Wisdom. It's a long time no see, by the way, Valerie. Good to see you. She said, Shari, what are you picking up with for this Lionsgate?
that's coming up on the 26th.
8/8. Yeah, 8/8. Well, they say that the gate's already opened, I think, but 8/8, I think, is the official Lionsgate.
That's my dad's death anniversary too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
8/8.
Well, I think sensitives are feeling all of this like 2 weeks in advance before it. Like we're already feeling the energies. And I've heard that sensitives and empaths, whatever, they feel it 2 times or 2 weeks stronger after too.
Really?
So, but it's going to be a portal, an opening. I think it's just going to be intense with all the way the energies have already been already. But I think we're going to have a lot more truth coming out about all this pedophilia stuff, probably. Yeah, it's been overwhelming with everything. It's just coming out in the, out from the dark into the light for everybody to see.
And as within, without, right? Like, I mean, it's on one hand, I mean, I've said this, I mean, the stuff that's happening globally is an indicator of what's happening inside of us. And so on one hand, I think that's a really good thing because it kind of tells us that we are dealing with the stuff we've been sweeping under the rug. But on the other hand, as this collective disclosure, becomes more prominent, it can be a distraction from the real unveiling, which is our own unveiling with ourselves, releasing all these things that we're not, all these traumas that have affected us. And so it's going to be an interesting, I don't think anybody really knows what's going to happen, to be quite honest. I really don't.
I think we need to get a lot of popcorn and just
well it's a challenge because you got on one end of the spectrum, you've almost got like a false spectrum. So on one end you have fear-based programming, and on the other one, to me, you have savior-based programming, which I guess is rooted or founded on fear-based programming. Scaring you to trust something, scaring you to wear a mask, scaring you to, go to confession on Sunday or whatever. But I think that for at least the way it seems to me, that it's really each one of us in the universe face to face. It doesn't matter, what's uncovered, in the global stage or what somebody else is doing. It's really about our own truth to ourselves. And I think that's where we're being pushed, especially with this quarantine and being isolated and having plenty of time to reflect on things. And I think the universal energy is promoting self-introspection, by force or by flow for everybody.
Yeah. It's interesting how each state's different with the rules on the mask thing too. We haven't been locked down once here in South Dakota. Yeah. And I wore a mask the other day for the first time because I had to get tagged on my car. And they wouldn't let you in the building without a mask. And I had that on for like, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes. And I was like,
it's crazy, isn't it?
How they can do that. Like,
crazy. I
felt like we were just cattle being herded. And
yeah. It's like an energetic, to me, I see more of the energetic than I do the literal. Like we just went to a little organic store that Morgan found the other day, about 3 or 4 miles from here. And so we put the mask on and we went into the little place, and the people that were working there, the 3 or 4 people, they had masks. It was just a small place. And then like 3 or 4, like this one family came in with couple of teenagers and a little kid and the mom, and none of them had masks on. And then another person walked in with no mask, and Morgan just took her mask off. And I was like a little shocked with myself because I was like, can I take my mask off? She's like, everybody else has their mask off. I don't know. It's strange.
When I see kids with masks on, I just think that's child abuse. They're brainwashing them. This is normal. And there's so much healing that the inner child has to do right now with all this pedophilia and everything stuff coming out. It's like, it's just us going backwards as a society, not forwards, but it's like you can tell who's awake and you can see who's not awake by when you go in public and you see some with masks and some with masks. So, and I've heard that the earth is going through a split. Have you heard that?
Like a great divide, like a divide.
I think this whole mask, like.
Well, I think that's. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. There was a lag. Go ahead. What do you say? You think what?
The whole mask thing is revealing to us physically, like, okay, there's these people that are still asleep and they're brainwashed and they're watching TV and they're believing lies, and then there's other people that.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting because even to me, people have been talking about this split, the Great Divide. They've been talking about it for 3 or 4 years, and even now, as we got into 2020, you heard a lot of people saying, "Well, it's here. You can really see it." But what I'm noticing is that there's different parts of the spectrum. Like, say, one part of the spectrum is a light worker community. I see a divide. I see, when I say a divide, I'm not saying that one group is in the neutral zone or the 0 point. I'm saying that I see people over identifying with one polarity or another. So to me, if I say to myself, if I say they're not awake, or they're not this, or they're not that, or they're this, or they're that, I'm the separation. I think really that this is why we're here. We're here to own all the polarities. It seems that way as we go out of duality into the age of Trinity. I mean,
like we're seeing split timelines.
Yes.
Like our timelines are really.
No, yes.
I think with this portal, the timelines are going to start like getting faster, maybe, or something.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like I put up a post 5 days ago in the middle of all this, and I just woke up and I said, that was the biggest timeline shift I've ever had. Has anyone seen my ass? Because I felt like I was walking in just a different world. And usually when you talk about timelines, you think about maybe a higher level of abundance or something shifts in your favor, but this was more like a mechanical thing. Like my brain wasn't working the same. I have less short-term memory. There's more of an accentuation on the present moment. There's, just a whole different kind of energy. And I agree with you, because we just went through what, June? We had that eclipse season. We had we had 9 planets aligning. We had, I don't even remember everything. And now, from what I understand, because I don't really follow all this stuff, you've got the day at a time, which is the 25th of July. And then there's a couple of more days after that, or shortly after that have some type of, or that basically allude to some type of spike in the energy.
Yeah, it's all interesting. You can't get bored right now.
Andrew Rollins says, we've all seen your ass now, thanks to Morgan. Well, that actually wasn't my ass, by the way. I just want to make that point clear. So before we get out of here, is there anything that you want to talk about, or anything you want to share? Any, song, a poem, a activation, a reading, you want to get up and dance and twerk, or whatever you want to do?
I don't know. I was just thinking about after my brother died, a dream I had. He came to me in dreams a lot, and I had a dream that he's like showed up in my apartment and like he was totally himself, his personality, you know, and I had just woke up from sleeping or something, and I looked out my window in my kitchen, and there was a cop car. And he just barged in my door, and he goes, "Don't worry about it. I'm gonna take care of it. Don't worry about it." And I was like, "Okay," but like 2 or 3 days later, I had an issue with the cop.
Wow.
So things like that are happening. Like I know he's wherever he's at, he's helping me.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Looking out for me.
Yeah.
You might be a guardian angel too.
You probably have two, your dad and your brother.
Yeah. I think that has to do with karma though too.
Like you have some kind of contract with them or something?
Yeah. I mean, we weren't very close when they were alive. My dad was an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared to death of him. I finally had a relationship with them after they died. It was just
After he passed.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
I wasn't close to my brother.
Yeah.
And then after they died, it's like, oh, we're connected. Like there is something there.
Wow.
So that was a huge awakening for me too.
Do you have anyone in your circle there, family or friends that support your perspective and your lifestyle in terms of
I have a few cousins curious about I've been quiet about everything, and I used to have social anxiety so bad I couldn't go to family things a lot, and they're just kind of wondering what's going on with me. But I have a brother that's living, and I mean we're closer than I was with my other brother, and we're forming that bond that I didn't get with my other brother. But we can still set each other off with triggers. It could be explosive, like this whole mask thing and everything. We'll get in fights about it and stuff. But it's a work in progress, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's what loved ones do for each other.
Yeah.
Some of them you can't be around, and other ones you keep going back to the well to get triggered. But I think we look at triggers differently now, don't we? I mean,
I look at them as catalysts.
Yeah.
Anything seemingly bad it's actually something to push us to do something good.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed about 2020, especially as time's gone on. If I'm in the middle of something that's that type of energy, or just call it chaos, I know, and I say to myself, you know what? There's going to be a huge shift from here. So whether you see it happening to someone or you see it happening to yourself, I noticed it with first part of July, and I started to notice some of the posts, mostly women were putting up, but it seemed to be like a distorted masculine thing, like projection, and I got to be right, and but I thought, well, that's a good sign because they must be working out the final little vestiges of distortion, because a lot of times that does happen. A lot of times we will act out or project, and because of the episode, we'll realize that we missed something. Yeah.
Do you feel like you affect electronics?
Yeah, sometimes.
Your energy.
Sometimes, yeah, especially if it is like getting ready for a show. Or during the show, it'll start happening with me and or the other person. But I noticed that. Yeah, that'll happen.
Me and my brother.
Yeah, you and your brother.
When we go to the store to get groceries, and he goes to the self-checkout. I went with him the other day, and he had most of his things, and I got a bottled water. And everything ran through fine, but my bottled water had an issue.
Yeah, your bottle of water.
And we've been to Walmart in the self-checkout, and I couldn't get it to work. It wouldn't work for me, and it worked perfectly for him.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the heck?
Karen Karen asked, she has a request. She says, can you pull a tarot card for this moment?
Oh, sure.
I think that'd be a good way to conclude.
Yeah.
See what comes up.
For everybody. Okay. Got the bone collector. Stick into another card.
So we got 2 for 1?
I think so.
What's the other one?
The talisman.
So the talisman and the bone collector. So what does this mean?
Okay. So one came up upside down. They have different meanings if they're upright or upside down. Grab my book. I kind of got into tarot cards later in life, so I tried to find my own method of how to use them. But we'll do the bone collector first. It's the first card in the stack. When the bone collector appears, she is asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present or reacting out of a past conditioning and unconscious expectations. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it's as if something essential is stolen from us. This is the Enchanted Map deck.
Cool.
We adapt and accept a particular version of the truth that then sets us up to behave a certain way in the future when faced with a situation that reminds us of the original event. That's interesting. What we know about ourselves. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What we know about ourselves thus becomes influenced by a perception of limitation. So you may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable or expect to be criticized. No matter what you're questioning, the bone collector reminds you that the truth is that you are a powerful being with limitless possibilities. Does that make sense?
Yes.
For everybody?
Shaz says it's a message for us all and the collective. I agree with that. And I think there is a lot of examination and self-introspection in regard to our beliefs, because they're getting shredded. They're getting shredded. They're getting shredded one after the other in all aspects of our lives.
I think this mask wearing thing is triggering a lot of past life, maybe suppression events too, that people are dealing with to try to heal.
And what's the talisman?
It came in reverse, so it says a reverse talisman card warns that you must be aware of the repetitive patterns in your life.
There you go.
Sometimes the things that feel most familiar carry with them reminders of what you don't want to experience again. Yet here you are faced with an important choice. You can move forward cautiously, or you can look for another path that will take you to a new direction. Consider this: if you've fallen down a hole a few times, why wouldn't you walk around it this time?
Stubbornness. I think that's why I really think I've always believed that the stubborn human makes for a stubborn soul, or a stubborn soul makes for a stubborn human. And I think part of the reason that we were picked to come here, or qualified, or whatever the case is because we're stubborn souls. And the more resistance we would have as a human, the more expansive the contrast of the experience would be, and the more potential we would have for expansion.
It seems like it takes us maybe 10 times to learn a lesson.
Yeah, that's on the short end of it, right? For some of us, like me, although it's not so hard anymore. There's a lot of observation happening, without, I'm not going to say without judgment, but with less judgment. And if there's a judgment, like if you're observing something and then you judge it, because you're almost like observing your own thoughts as well as observing whatever you're looking at. But the minute you know that you're judging, there's no continuation of that energy. So you don't say anything and you don't do anything to reinforce it. I think we're doing a great job. I think we're kicking ass, really.
We're learning faster than we did 10 or 20 years ago, right? Like
absolutely. One or 2 years ago.
Portals.
1 or 2 years ago. Think about where we were a year ago. I mean, you got Lionsgate coming up, and we landed on the mainland at LAX in Terminal 5D at basically 5:55 in the morning on 8/8. And I think about where we were a year ago, like Morgan and I, because that would be the easiest thing for me to. And I think about the last 12 months, and God, like so much work has been done energetically on an individual basis, and we're not the only ones. It's happening with you. It's happening with everybody that's cluing in.
Yeah.
I think woke is starting to be like overused. You even see the term woke in the mainstream media. But I think to me, woke is being woke to yourself.
Right.
All the stuff you don't want to look at and all the stuff that you find it and discover. But that's cool.
Have you seen these?
What is that? Organite? What is
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
that's
supposed to like protect you from EMF and transmute 5G energies. And they got healing crystals in them. Pretty. Wow. That one's a tree of life one.
Well, we have a lot of tools. Oh, that's a pretty one. I like that blue. That's very cool.
I've been putting them on my body to test if they can help me heal my body.
Well,
my legs swell and stuff.
Well, it's good to catch up with you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in and sharing space with us and honoring us with your presence and being so open.
Thank you.
You've touched a lot of people. You have.
I'll have to go back.
Go back and look at the comments. There's some nice comments about your energy and your intuition and your your field, your aura. But keep on keeping on. And if I get up to South Dakota, which I'd love to, I've wanted to ever since I've been woke. Actually since I was a little kid.
Have you not been here?
Not in the physical. No,
wow.
But I've spent a lot of time there in, the field of imagination or etherical or non-physical, past life stuff, a lot of past life stuff. But yeah, huge, in particular, the Dakotas, North and South Dakota. So, if I can ever get back on the road again, now that we have a place we actually can call home or, be based out of, I'm not too far from there. But if I get up that way, I'll definitely look you up. We'll have to go to the Black Hills, do some ceremony.
Awesome.
Smoke a peace pipe. I'll bring the pipe. All right. I'll see you. You take care. Thank you so much. Love you.
Love you. Bye.